Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
God is a supreme power who always works with a heart filled with infinite love and compassion. Please watch on to find out more.
Vegan. Our meal doesn't have to kill our children.
Ninalka Samadhanam Undakate. Noble viewers, Ninalka Samadhanam Undakate means, may peace be with you. In Malayalam, a language spoken in Lakshadweep, I'm J. Raj. The warm-hearted people of Lakshadweep wish for your uplifted inner peace in the grace of God. Sri Swami Ramdas was born in Kanhangad, India. As a young man, he understood that the only way to eternal peace is through the divine path of oneness with the Supreme Being. He thus began to devote his life solely to God. It was at this time that his father, also a great bhakta or worshipper of Lord Ram, taught him to chant the holy and all-powerful Ram mantra, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Assuming the name Ramdas, meaning the servant of Ram, he soon after received darshan or spiritual grace from Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi. Following a retreat, Sri Swami Ramdas realized that the manifestation of Ram, or beloved God, is everywhere, within or without. Filled with never-ending bliss and joy, Sri Swami Ramdas went on to found the Ananda Ashram with Mother Krishnabai as his deputy. The ashram became a spiritual center where people could experience and cultivate unconditional love and service. Sri Swami Ramdas's book, The Divine Life, is a compilation of more than 200 essays. These reflect the radiating insights gained through his inner understanding of the truth. We will now share with you selections from The Divine Life by Swami Ramdas. Power of the Name. The only precious thing in this world, by the possession of which we could attain an exalted state of pure peace and joy, is the name of the Lord. Its melodious sound, coupled with the pure consciousness of the one reality which it signifies, frees the mind from all its passions, permitting the outflow of the eternal joy inherent in the human soul. The divine name is a powerful boat that takes man across the whirlpools of life to the haven of his eternal and spiritual nature. His name transforms man from the human to the divine. The divine name is the one sovereign panacea for all the physical, mental, and intellectual ills that have created the sense of diversity and misery in the world. The sweet note that rings out of the name lulls and grants repose to the troubled spirits of man. The divine name represents God, who is at once the Lord and Master of the universe, as also the universe itself and everything beyond. So to be in tune with the name is to be in tune with the infinite truth, and thus to transmute the lower, stumbling, and ignorant human nature into the glorious, self-illumined nature. To be in communion with God through the music of His name is to earn the very bliss of immortality. God is a supreme power who always works with a heart filled with infinite love and compassion. All activities in the world proceed from such a heart, but man in his ignorance misconstrues the workings of the divine will and instead of submitting to it, revolts and strives against it, and thus becomes miserable. Submission to God's will and a cheerful attitude towards all circumstances of life, and to be engaged in a blissful and selfless activity, can be possible only when man is in intimate communion and oneness with Him who is love and goodness. This touch with and absorption in Him is attained only when we keep on within the mind a continuous stream of God remembrance. The way to do it is to harmonize the mind with the melody of God's sweet and glorious name. Truly, the name is Brahman Himself. He who tastes the nectar of the name experiences everlasting joy. The divine name purifies the mind of its ego and desires and floods the whole being with light and joy. The heart that has captured the name becomes God's own heart. It opens the very source of infinite love and universal vision. In other words, it blesses man with the supreme vision of God in the universe and beyond. The divine name grants man inexhaustible power of endurance and patience, causing the latent springs of spiritual strength and joy to reveal themselves in him. The glorious name of the Lord is incomparable in its greatness, power, and love, because by its grace man realizes his immortality and union with God, the Lord of the universe. By the power of the name, man can rend the veil of ignorance, and through the light of the knowledge, behold God in his own heart, and in the hearts of all things and creatures in the world. God is infinite love, and he dwelleth in us all. We are eternally one with and different from him. Man is the blissful child of a blissful mother, for God is the very being of immortal joy and peace. When the heart has flowered with the fragrance of divine joy, it overflows out as pure love, peace, and compassion. Such a love is inundating the world and all its beings. The divine name leads you to this ocean of joy. Blessed, thrice blessed, is he who knows and experiences the immeasurable greatness of the divine name. Wondrous name. There is no word in the human tongue which wields such a marvelous power that mysteriously works for absolute good as the name which stands for God. The name of the Lord is the very expression of God as a mystic sound. To attune the mind to the sweet melody of the name is to harmonize your life with the life eternal. The music of the name brings about the union of the individual soul with the universal soul. When the soul loses itself in the thrills generated by the name, it attains a state of ineffable ecstasy, in which all forms and lives are seen as the manifestation of the one supreme essence of truth. The name expands the narrow vision of the individual into a vision of infinite value and grandeur. The soul, who is drinking deep at the nectarine charm of the name, rises from the lower worlds of fettered thought and action and enters into the universal kingdom of freedom and perfection. Now this transformed life reveals in all its glory the magnificence of the basic reality of which it and the worlds are but expressions. By the power of the name, its votary distinctly perceives the inner laws and purposes which work out the external phenomenal changes in the universe. When the name becomes the sole mainstay and refuge of the aspirant who thirsts for the highest goal of life, God realization, he or she marches towards the ideal not only in rapid strides, but also with a heart filled with courage and cheerfulness. Indeed, blessed is the soul who possesses an unflinching faith in the greatness of the divine name. It is rightly said that a king can extend his empire to the ends of the earth. Nay, he can gain even the lordship of the worlds, but it is extremely hard to conquer and subdue the mind. The real and the greater hero is he or she who has controlled and mastered the mind. This mastery is possible only when the invincible divine energy latent in the heart of the human being is awakened and is set to work, in place of the weak individual will and initiative. The name, in reaching this ideal, proves an invaluable and irresistible means. Constant utterance of the name arrests the restless nature of the mind and, developing a high state of concentration, conserves all the physical and mental energies for removing the veil from the indwelling truth who is infinite power, light, peace and joy. In a word, the name is an unfailing key that unlocks the gates of the heart, permitting an outflow of immortal love, wisdom and power. Thereafter, the soul is merged in the universal effulgence of an eternal and all blissful existence. Gracious viewers, it's being a splendid to have your company on today's Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is Eco-Poetry for the love of nature and all of her inhabitants, right after noteworthy news. May your pursuit of the divine bring peace to your heart and soul in God's boundless benevolence.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/WOW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/WOW.
ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਭਾਸ਼ਾਵਾਂ। ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇਖੋ suprememastertv.com/schedule ਅਤੇ suprememastertv.com/WOW